Welcome to another video for those in confirmation class here at Saint Peter Lutheran Church. In this video we're going to talk about the sixth commandment, and I'm going to try hard to talk about it in a way that's positive rather than negative. And especially because this is one of those commandments that's especially attacked in our society today, I want to make sure that we not only see the ways that this commandment can be broken, but also the ways that we can keep it. Especially that. I want to cover it in a positive way. But first, as you hear the sixth commandment and its meaning read, do just consider for a little while how often our society and culture makes light of these words. You shall not commit adultery. What does this mean? We should fear and love God, that we lead a pure and decent life in words and actions, and that husband and wife love and honor each other. First, before we get into the real meat of this video, I want to tell you what adultery means. I know that's not a word that we use all of the time. Adultery is any time that we have a sexual act or thought against someone who is not our spouse. That means if you're a married person and you have sex with someone who is not your husband or your wife, then yes, you've committed adultery. But it also means if you're not married and you have a sexual thought about someone who is not your spouse, that also is adultery. This is a pretty stern commandment, and it's one that's really important for us to grasp. Jesus makes it clear that even our thoughts can be ways that we break this commandment. For example, he says, I tell you that if a man looks at a woman and wants to sin sexually with her, he has already committed that sin with her in his mind. Jesus makes it clear that it's possible to break this commandment without ever actually having sex with someone. And so, for that reason, we should take it very seriously. And that's the way you break the commandment. And I know that's often how we talk about the sixth commandment, is making sure that we know how we break it and avoiding that. What I want to talk about, though, is ways that we can honor marriage. Marriage is definitely an institution in our culture that seems to be under attack. And so, just for the purpose of the rest of this video, I want to give you some ways that you can honor marriage, that you can hold it up high and see it as such a good thing and a blessing. And specifically, I want to give you 3 ways. First, though, I want to read just an important passage about this. This passage is one of the most important explanations of the sixth commandment in the whole Bible. It comes from Hebrews 13, verse 4. It says, marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure, for God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. Just notice that first sentence, marriage should be honored by all. And he'll go on from there to tell you about the ways that it might not be honored, but first, honor marriage. So I want to give you 3 ways to do that. Here's the first one. First, in your life, you undoubtedly knows people who are married. Celebrate their marriages. That means that when your mom and your dad are celebrating their anniversary, get them a gift, make them a cake, or do something special that lets them know how valuable you think that is. When your grandparents have an anniversary, give them a card, give them a call. Let them know that you're thinking about them and just how wonderful it is that they have been married for so long. Or if you're in church sometime, and sometimes there's special prayers of thanks for those people who have been married for an especially long time, like 50, 60, 70 years. After the service, see if you can find those people. Let them know that you're very encouraged by how long they have been together, and congratulate them that God has blessed them for so many different years. Number 2. The second way that you can do this is spending time thinking about your own marriage. Someday God may bless you with a husband or a wife, and it would be good for you to picture what that is going to be like. You can plan to and picture in your own mind right now what it's going to be like to sit down and read the Bible with your husband or your wife. What it's going to be like to raise your children to know God to bring them to baptism so that they can be part of God's kingdom. You can know what it's like to go to church together, to stand next to each other and sing God's praises. Picture those things in your mind often. Because what I think it'll do is it will help you get excited about that day when you finally are married. But along the way, I think it'll help you fight against those temptations that will come into your life. Because you'll remember how excited you are to be blessed by God in this way. So that when you are tempted sexually, then you can remember just how much God blesses those who are married and want those blessings for yourself. And so it'll be good. You'll be excited. You'll remember just how much God does through marriage and want that for yourself. And here's number 3, and this is maybe the simplest, but also one of the most powerful. Pray. Pray that God would protect marriage in our culture and our society. Pray that He would strengthen the marriages of those people that you know. Pray that He would someday bring you a Christian husband or wife. Those are good things for you to do. Those are 3 ways that you can really honor marriage in your life. And probably there are a lot more. Maybe you can come up with some others yourself. But that's all for this video. The Lord be with you.